So I've been to Disney many, many times, but every time you go, it's a different experience, and it's still important to document your experience. But it's always fun to try and find new ways to document it. So that's why when I was at Creativation and I saw Diane's Traveler's Notebooks, I thought these would be really fun to use. So even though I have now learned that Traveler's Notebooks have been a thing for quite a while, the thing that makes Diane's different is the paper she used. And because I want to do some art in it, I decided to go with Diane. So she has two different covers and they're canvas. And so even though she has a design on it, I'm still thinking I might be doodling or adding a few little Disney touches to it as I go. And the more you use it, the softer this canvas will get. So then I wanted to show you it now before I went so you can see how I prepare for a trip. So I am using some of her pockets. You get 3 sets of pockets when you buy it, and then the added elastics. So this is the elastic pack, and you get 4 elastics. I used 2 in here, so there's the blue one. And then I am using a lined booklet. I have a second lined booklet here, but the thing that's different is that this paper is quite, you can sort of hear it, it's quite thick compared to, say, the regular lined notebooks that you can get. These ones are thicker. So when I'm prepping, I put the date and then our information, where we're staying, and my airline information and that to start. And then each day I have where we're staying, our lunch reservations or dinner reservations, our fast pass reservations. If I don't have a dinner reservation, what I'm thinking I might do for dinner. If we were going to a party, so I have the 9 p.m. party, and then I did what time the parade and fireworks are at. And then I'm picking up some tickets, so I have my information. So I've done that for each day. So here we're at the Polynesian, we're going to Epcot, however the Magic Kingdom's open till 11 p.m., so we might go there after. We have fast passes, 3 fast passes. And for lunch and dinner, we're just going to do Flower and Garden. And then just a reminder of the DVC Lounge, annual pass magnets. And there's an egg hunt and this new little bee hunt. So I've put these little notes to myself. Similar here, I'm doing a tour. So I wrote down my 4 p.m. tour, what time the Rivers of Light show is at. And it keeps going like that. I'm just seeing if there's a certain day. And then what my plan is with this open space is on that day, say we have lunch or breakfast, I'm going to actually write what we had for lunch, some of our favorite attractions, if something happened that day that was really good. So the rest of this space is going to be filled in while we are there. So here we check out of the Poly, then we check into the boardwalk. We're doing a 9 a.m. Activity at Disney Springs. We have a noon reservation at the Edison, and then these are, we haven't been to Disney Springs since the new part opened, so I wrote down a bunch of the stores we want to make sure we go to. And then if we get to it, I made some fast passes at Epcot for later in the evening. Epcot's open till 11 that day, and we're staying at Boardwalk. So it's just all these little prepping notes to myself. This day, Wednesday, believe it or not, we don't have anything planned. A day to just do whatever we feel like doing, and then we're back to doing activities. So that just shows you how I plan for our trip before going. I'm going to show you a bit later in the video, once I'm back, how I filled it all in. So then, let's just go to the end of our trip. So then what I've done is here, I've made lists of some of the snacks or foods or places to eat that's not a reservation. So while we're there, the Flower and Garden Festival is on, and they have different food areas. So we went through all the food areas and wrote down some of the foods or drinks that we want to try. So when we're there and we're like, oh, we're hungry, we can be like, hey, let's go and get some lemonade or pineapple soft serve or whatever at the different food booths. Then I also wrote for like Hollywood Studios and Boardwalk, Disney Springs, some different food to try. And then we are doing the Run Disney Virtual Marathon, and we have to get a total of 13.1 miles or 22 kilometers. So I wrote each day, and I'm going to track how many steps in kilometers we actually walk. I'm sure we'll finish the 22 kilometers at least by day 3, if not earlier. But anyway, we'll just keep a running track. It's always interesting to see how much you walked when you were there. Then the rest of the book, if I run out of space here, I have more pages back here to use to fill in. So that is my note-keeping part of the book. I have another little folder, and what I'm thinking is I always collect the park maps because the parks are always changing. I like to keep a map, so I'll be inserting these, and then if we do the little egg hunt, I'll put the little papers in here. Then the other book I got was the blank book, and again, what makes these different than the other ones is it's a nice thick paper. So I have one book, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it as my autograph book. But after I get the autographs, because I have their autographs many, many times, I have plans to color the pages and paint over them and doodle and sort of put a bit of graffiti on it or something. So that is why I wanted to have that thicker paper for my autograph book, because I plan on doing a bit more artsiness to it. So hopefully that turns out. Another little pocket, and then I have a second blank book, and I'm going to use this book for when we go around Epcot. We like to stop at the kids spot stations, and we get the stamps, and the people from the countries will write a message in their language, and then because the Flower and Garden's going on, they have stamps I want to do. Then there might be, I'm always inspired, or I'd like to sketch, so I'm going to use this for any sketching of inspiration or taking notes if some food inspires me. So I have a second book for the fun sort of stamping stuff and sketching and inspiration stuff. So what I also plan, just so you know, is that I'm going to pull out the books. I'm not going to carry this as a whole when I'm walking around. I plan on just taking the books out, and then so if I have an autograph, a character with an autograph, I'll just pull this out and just have them sign the book. I'm not going to make them sign it in this bulkiness. So I'm going to take these books individually, and what's great is that they are a nice small size. They'll just fit into my bag, and I'll have them handy with me. And then later on, I can just put them right back in with those elastics. That was the other pink elastic that came with it. So we'll see. You'll see in the next part of the video, I might, we'll see if I take any video while I'm there of using the book. Otherwise, I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you the book after our trip. So I am back from Disney, and I filled up my journal. And to start, I just wanted to show you, I did some little doodling on the front of the journal, and I made like a little Mickey head there and just colored in some circles and that. Same with the back. And I wrote Walt Disney World 2018. And again, I added some lines and did some doodles just to change it up a little. So first off, these are little gift cards for the Flower and Garden Festival. There's a third one, but I actually still have money on it, so I'll add it to it once I'm done. So the gift cards are a fun way. In a sense, they're free because you put money on it and then you spend the money you put on it and you end up with the gift card. And it just adds a nice little souvenir. Here we have a couple of the pockets. I put in our after hours. We went to a party, and we got that, and then all the maps. And I like to get maps each time because the parks are always changing, so it's interesting to look back. Then this first book was my diary, basically, of what we did. And so I filled in stuff. I had shown you this previously. And so on this page, I just wrote what we did. And then here I had filled in some information about our lunch and dinner. And so I just filled it in each day. And then at the back, after it all, I made some little notes to myself about the trip. And here we kept track of how much we walked, and the total was 214,335 steps, which was 155.88 kilometers. So as you can tell, we walked a lot. Over here I have the Flower and Garden book, this little ephemera I got, the recipe for strawberry soup. We got this from the breakfast we went to, and we filled it out as well, and then we just keep it in here. So next up is my autograph book. Now, I found out quick that as soon as I sort of turned the letters into calligraphy, the Sharpie went through. So at least I found that out really quick. And then, so from then on, I only did the one per page. So I'm still going to use this. I found the Anna signature was really basic, so we were sitting down somewhere and I was using the designs around me to make this swirl pattern. And then same with Flick, I made it just a little design around it. But otherwise, I'm going to still use this book and find different ways to use the signatures. But I had made them all sort of in that calligraphy style. I also found out that a lot of the signatures don't give you a lot of room, like Prince Charming. It's very tight. Cinderella is very tight. So, but I almost filled the book. I think did I have room for one more? I had room for one more signature. So I'm going to still use this in future projects. Then the next book was my sort of catch-all book. So I'd like to do the KidCot when we're in Epcot, and I gave each country a whole page to do a design. Here we're keeping track of the food we ate at the Flower and Garden Festival. So you can see by giving them a whole design, they will give you some nice colorful little drawings and that. I think they're cute. At the Animal Kingdom, we became the Wilderness Explorers. And so as we collected stickers, I just added them in the book. These were our tickets for the Rivers of Light show. This was just me doodling some patterns that wherever we were sitting, they were around me. Then I had some things from Amorette's. We had done an event there, a thing from the Ganachery. We did the Taste of the World, which was all these different Coke products from around the world. Whenever cast members are handing out stickers to the kids, I'm the person that always gets the stickers as well. This was the different chocolates from Ganachery. We did mini golf from a couple places, so I put in our mini golf things. Here's another one from KidCot. Some more mini golf, and then some labels from things we bought. Some of the characters will just give you these little things if they don't actually do autographs. And then some packaging from different chocolates. And then these are cards you can get at Disney for the sorcerers. And we actually, when Gemma was younger, collected them all. But I just went to get a pack because I think the art's really pretty. And I just added it to the book. I think they're fun to collect, and it's a free thing you can get from Disney. When you enter the park, it's in the fire hall. And then it was just our boarding passes. Then I put in the maps of the different hotels we stayed at, because we resort hop. So we stayed at the Poly, the Boardwalk, and the Grand. And then just some buttons we had gotten from Animal Kingdom. So as you can see, I fit everything into my journal. Having the little books were easy to walk around with. I just threw them in my bag and then later put this all together as a package once I was home. So the traveling journal, this is the dialogue from Dylusions, worked really well for my trip. And if you're planning a trip, you might want to consider picking one up.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to give our video a thumbs up and subscribe to Scrap Time Videos on YouTube. In the meantime, here are a couple other videos you might be interested in watching. See you next time. Bye bye.